Hey, AP Lang, good morning and happy Monday, and welcome to week two of this new reality of Uncharted Water. I want to talk a little bit about what it is that we can do this week in preparation for whatever that AP Lang exam is going to look like. As I sent out on Friday, we got a little bit of information on that, not a whole heck of a lot. They are going to offer still the full test for schools who can do that, but if you can't, then they will offer a 45-minute exam online. How they plan to condense that, we don't really know. It said no multiple choice. It's going to be free response questions. But again, you're supposed to have 40 minutes per essay, and now they're going to do everything in 45 minutes. How they're going to test those skills, we don't know. April 3rd is the day they said they're going to send out a lot of information on what that might actually look like. And so once that happens, we'll start making some moves really specific to that. In the meantime, I say we go about business as usual. And so what I have for you this week will hopefully do that. I'm also adding in something new this week. So in addition to the timed writing, the contextual pools, the multiple choice, which we'll talk about all three, I also wanted to ask us to do one core text for the week. There are some really, really good essays that we were going to be taking a look at pretty much between now and spring break. Essays that would kind of bring us back together as a class, hopefully, do some deep dives into them, take a look at some cool writerly choices, and that are also kind of staples of an AP Lang curriculum. Some of just the really traditional essays, not necessarily that they're old, but just kind of great essays that a lot of AP Lang teachers like to do. So I'd love to start doing that a little bit too. So I'm sending out one of those this week. It's called Just Walk On by Brent Staples. It's a great piece, came out in the late 80s. I think it's really applicable now still, which I think is interesting. And so I'd love for you to read and annotate that piece. And then for anyone who's interested, on Wednesday, we'll do a discussion about your annotations, what it is that you noticed, what you were left wondering. And we can also brainstorm how you might write from that. It could become one of your contextual pool entries if you would like, knowing that we're doing that whole class text. So consider reading that today or tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday morning at 11, we'll discuss that. And then maybe you could write on that in the second half of the week. The other three things, knowing that we now have four big ideas for the week, we've got the core text, and then the additional three are what we had last week. One timed writing, two contextual pool entries, and then multiple choice. The one timed writing this week is going to be an argument essay. I've got a new prompt for you. Just like what you did for rhetorical analysis, put 30 minutes on your phone. As soon as you open up that prompt and you've got your stuff ready to write, hit your timer for 30 minutes. When that goes off, that's your 10-minute warning. Hit the snooze button, and that 9 minutes will kind of function as that 10-minute warning a little bit. On Friday, we'll discuss the prompt and some of the different ways that we could write from it, just like what we did for rhetorical analysis. A little bit more flexible since it's coming with argument writing, but I think that's a good thing, and even more reason for us to sit down and talk through it a little bit. So again, we'll have a discussion on Friday for anyone who would like to talk through that argument writing prompt. And so that prompt is with you. So two conferences this week, one on the core text and then one on our timed writing. Two contextual pool entries, that of course is number 3. That will always stay the same. This week I gave you a bunch of text related to the coronavirus to stay informed. I think that's really important. But I also gave you some other texts that are completely removed from that, knowing that we want to build that contextual pool wider. Certainly we don't want to spend the next 2 months only writing about the coronavirus, only reading about the coronavirus. We want to make sure we're still well-rounded. So stay informed about the coronavirus, but let's make sure we're building in some extra things too. I've got some hopefully interesting texts for you for this week. Last but not least, I included multiple choice. I said at the beginning that they're not going to have multiple choice questions on the exam, but I still have a feeling that some of the constructed response questions will ask you to do similar things, and that the types of passages that you get in a multiple choice might help us with those. So even though you're not going to be answering A, B, C, D, E, these types of passages I think are going to be helpful. The types of questions I think are going to be helpful. I really encourage you to still do it. Again, just because you're not going to be filling in a bubble doesn't mean that the multiple choice work isn't going to be useful. I think there's still going to be a payoff. Again, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I feel like that'll still be useful for us. A few additional resources for you. Last week's on-demand essay, we did a rhetorical analysis on a letter from Gandhi, and that's, of course, what we talked about on Friday. If you did not join us for that discussion, or actually if you did, I kind of tried to type up our notes from that discussion. I included that in the document as well. Consider looking through that after you've written the essay. It could be a great thing to look back at. So consider that as a good additional source. In addition, a few people said they struggled a bit with that rhetorical analysis. It's been a little while since we had worked on it. So I included a bonus rhetorical analysis speech in there if you want to take a look and if you want to give another one a go. We won't have any big discussion on that, but if you'd like to send it to me, or if you want to email back and forth about some questions or to do some brainstorming, I would love to do that with you. So if you're looking for a little extra rhetorical analysis work, it's out there for you. Last but not least, and I guess this is just in general, continue to conference with me, whether that's the big group conference on Wednesday about the reading, whether that's the big group conference on Friday about the argument writing, or whether it's just about contextual pool stuff. Let's keep working together. I can't tell you how happy it made me to have so many people join our conference last Friday. And I can't tell you how nice it's been to hear from so many of you through email. So especially if I haven't heard from you yet, please let me know that you're doing well, even if that's all it is. And of course, if I can be of more help, then know that I would love to be. As I get more information about the argument, as I get more information about the AP exam as a whole and what that looks like in 45 minutes, I'll pass that along immediately. But until then, I say we operate business as usual. So hope that information's helpful. Let me know if there's any questions, comments, concerns. I hope you enjoyed our fireside chat. You're going to start getting different views of my house, I think, throughout all of this. So welcome to the living room. But I hope all is well. Let me know if I can be of any help, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, in which we'll discuss Just Walk On By Brent Staples, and I look forward to seeing more of you on Friday to talk through that argument writing prompt. Take care, and we will talk soon. Bye.